Welcome back. And today we're joined with another one of our ambassadors. Today we're joined by Amanda Smyth. So, Amanda, welcome. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good, Emma. Lovely to be here.
Amazing. We're so excited. So, where are you from? Tell us a bit about you, where you're from.
I'm from the UK. I'm a Londoner, but I currently, actually, at this present moment, I'm actually in Turkey because we have a home in Turkey and a home in UK, and I split myself while I'm semi-retired, so I split myself between the two. So presently, we are in Kalkan, Turkey, southern Turkey, and I actually call this my home now because I spend more time here than I do in the UK. But I'm also a hairdresser, have a salon, qualified aerobics instructor. Love to DJ. I've got my own DJ set.
DJ.
Yeah, I DJ in the local bar. So yeah, I've got plenty of hats, as they say.
Wow. So cool.
And I also love to exercise. I mean, that's another one of my things that I just love to do. So yeah.
Amazing. And why Turkey?
We actually came here on holiday and fell in love with it. We just always wanted in our sort of retirement time to live abroad at some point. And when we came here, we just literally said, this is it. This is the place. And we bought a holiday home about 10 years ago. And my husband took early retirement and moved here 6 years ago. And then I came backwards and forwards, but I've joined him now for longer periods because at the time we had dogs that we couldn't bring; they were too elderly, so I had to stay at home to look after them. But now, yeah, it's. I actually have a half Turkish grandson, so it's really, yeah, it's life has changed a lot.
So cool. So
Yeah.
cool. Amazing. So tell us a bit about your journey, your story, how you found Lumen, how you started using Lumen, what kind of made you to buy Lumen, like how did you find us and find all this success that you've had?
Okay, well, I've spent years of my life, as most women, doing the wrong things, really. Overtraining, yo-yo dieting, fasting with the wrong windows, nutritionally not balanced, avoiding carbs, just done years of it. And when you're younger, you can do it. You get through those points and you lose the weight and you're fine, and you're great and you're fit. But as you're getting older, wow, it becomes more difficult. And I was becoming so frustrated with myself. I was over cardio working. I literally was cardio queen. It was ridiculous what I was doing, but not losing weight and then cutting back on my food and thinking, what's going on here? I just didn't understand. I didn't have any knowledge about where I needed to work towards. And I saw a few socials about Lumen and I thought, that's really interesting. That really put a light bulb in my head. And I've always liked biohacking and using different tools. At the time I was on Zoe, so my nutrition was quite good, but I lost a couple of pounds. I was still thinking, something's not right here. So yeah, so I looked into a few little blogs that you had and little advertisements. I thought, I'm going to give it a go. And yeah, so I started Lumen. It's over a couple of years now. And absolutely, it's just transformed me, to be honest. It's just opened up just the knowledge of knowing how my body works is just fantastic. Yeah. So I can't thank everyone enough at Lumen, to be honest, to how it's for me.
Wow, it's so exciting to hear. So what are some of the things that you learned about Lumen from Lumen that you didn't know about your body, about your metabolism? What were some of those moments?
Yeah, I mean, there's been lots, but from the very beginning, sort of the little moments that I was definitely, for a woman, I was over fasting. For a woman of my age, I know it's a very individual thing, but I was just taking it to the extreme, thinking that the more you fast, the more you'll get into fat burn, the more you'll lose. But actually, all I was doing was giving myself body under stress. So having that idea of where you can learn what you're waking up in and when you should reblow to see if you're actually getting into your numbers are going up, that was really, really resourceful. So I now have quite a short fasting window. I stop eating in the evening before, and I start eating sort of quite early morning-ish. So it's about anything between 10 and 14 hours. I know if I go any longer than that, I can't. I just get into stress mode. And so that was one of the first things. But actually not to avoid carbs. It's another great big light bulb for me. I mean, I now love my carbs. I eat very good, high quality carbs, but I fuel myself. I wasn't fueling myself before. Hence, I was just on burnout all the time, working like a Trojan, but actually not getting anything back for it. So Lumen's helped me no end with that. And sleep as well, knowing that I've got to be a little bit more conscious of when I go to bed and how I sleep. So many things, to be honest. And it still teaches me loads, even now.
Yeah.
Just all different things every time I use it. I think, oh God, yeah, that's that.
Yeah. Amazing. So take us through like you started to mention a little bit with your fasting, but take us through like kind of a day in your life of maybe some habits that you started to do since using Lumen, how you use your Lumen, just for people that are like kind of curious what Lumen is about and how it can help you.
Yeah, of course. Immediately as I wake up, I do give myself a little bit of time because I do tend to have a cortisol spike in the morning, I must be honest. So I do know that my reading would be high. Sometimes I take it because I get frustrated and I think, oh, I should just have waited. And then I wait about 20 minutes, half an hour. The minute I wait 20 minutes, half an hour in the morning and I take my breath, it's back down sort of generally in fat burn if I've actually adhered to everything that I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have some breakfast, a light breakfast. And I don't generally do any sort of training or workout until sort of roughly any time from 10:30 to sort of 12:30. I sometimes do it in the afternoon, but generally my working out time would be mid-morning. And I'll always do a pre-morning breath. And I'm a multi-breather. I like to take lots. I don't know why it is, but I just always like to see it because it just helps me see so many things when I just take them at different times. It'll help, as I say, if I took it in the morning, I'll have already probably had breakfast, so I know I've generally carved up enough if I'm going to do quite an intensive workout. So I know I tend to not have to fuel. I'll go and do some workout. I now do, whereas as I said before, I was like the cardio queen, I now do only 2 days of cardio. One of those is a recovery. Actually, 2 to 3. One day is a recovery, one day is just a general, maybe a run or a cycle. And then the other day will be a sprint training for it. And it's, if I've got I want to have a quick training, I do sprint intervals. And then the other 3 days, I tend to try and have a day off, but sometimes I don't because I still struggle with that. I tend to do I weight train, which has absolutely changed me completely. It's helped me with my mitochondria, with my muscle tone, everything, and also obviously with burning and my metabolism. So, and that's how Lumen's helped me. So it's the Lumen's helped me with that too, because I know now that if I read my Lumen measurement and I've done weight training, whether I should fuel after, enough protein, and then generally I'll maybe meet up somewhere with some friends, might go for a walk. Got my grandson here, my family here. I'm very lucky I don't have to work here. I mean, I do DJ, as I say. I might do some of my music. So, yeah, I'm quite a easy going. When I go back to the UK, I'm full on. I've got 2 weeks of I work when I go back. I'm literally every day full on, so I'm pretty busy. So that's the time when I struggle with my be able to time my exercise in. But I'm so busy at work that I tend to use up quite a lot of my carbs, etc., within working at work because I'm on my feet all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a general day for me.
Great. You're busy. You have lots of energy.
I have now.
Yeah.
I have now. I used to think I had lots of energy, but realised that I literally was just burning myself out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. I was doing it just for the sake of it. Whereas now I love it. I mean, I've always enjoyed fitness. I felt it was tried to do it as a means to an end, but actually now I do it because I love it.
It's something that I noticed you mentioned about like the carbs for workouts. And I think this is something that also I noticed with myself is that I used to work out in the morning fasted. I used to like roll out of bed. I didn't have coffee. This was a good thing. But I would wake up and go do like a high intensity class. And then I would feel horrible for the whole day. I was exhausted. I felt horrible. I wasn't fueling my body and I was waking up too early and I was doing it 5 days a week. It was too much.
You've just hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what I was like. I felt, what? This can't be right. Why am I train fasted? But, a lot of this research is for males. And then when you look into a female hormonal balance and how we should be, and when you realize that actually, I'm postmenopausal now, but when I was premenopausal and when I was actually having regular cycles, I was literally killing my cycle. It was just, I was trying to fast so much and in the end, I just wasn't, I was all over the place, all over.
I think one thing that I noticed from talking to a lot of our users online and on Zoom like this and in person is that one of the biggest takeaways, and tell me if you agree, is that less is more. A lot of women are really surprised to find out that less is more, whether it's fasting, whether it's high intensity workouts, whether it's these crazy go, 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 go. We're so conditioned to do so much when actually we need to do less.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you ever remember when Insanity came out. It was a type of training. It's called Insanity. I mean, that explained it to you. I mean, it literally, it was a high intensity that literally killed you. And I was doing it. This was when my daughter was about to get married. I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to get really fit. I'm going to get into my dress for the evening. Oh my God. I was so ill afterwards. So ill. Honestly, it just absolutely wiped me out because I wasn't fueling properly for it. I was fasting and hardly eating enough carbohydrates to actually fuel it, to be honest.
Yeah. So, okay, so when you found Lumen, you found it like through socials. Did you find what was your what made you come to Lumen? You wanted to lose weight, you wanted to feel better. What was your main goal when you started?
2 goals mainly. Weight loss, yes. It's definitely always been a big part of it, I must be honest. But I've always wanted to understand my metabolism. Just having been in fitness all my life, I couldn't see what is it that I'm doing so wrong that I don't get to where I want to be. Be it even like have more endurance, not just weight loss, more endurance, less burnout, more, everything was never seemed to, there was no pieces to the puzzle. They were all over the place. And I couldn't grasp why am I doing it so wrong? I felt so nutritionally good and I felt that I felt I was quite fit, but I wasn't getting it. I wasn't getting it right. So Lumen looked as though when you show that this metabolism reader can show you how you burn fat and carbs. Well, that's what you can do if you're a sports person. You go and you pay thousands of pounds to do. And I thought, wow, that's fabulous. You can actually learn about your metabolism, and the metabolism was always my big question mark because I'm underactive thyroid. I thought, oh, maybe it's that. I was menopausal. Oh, maybe it's that. But actually, it's just not understanding how your body works and how you should fuel it when and not just fueling it, also, stress, sleep, everything, it all comes together. And that was probably, what I knew. I thought, well, that's going to probably really give me a great insight. And yeah, it has.
So what are some of the insights Lumen gave you? We talked a little bit about fueling, but what about for better sleep? You said better sleep was one of the things that you have gotten from Lumen. How has Lumen kind of opened your eyes to the world of sleep and stress and how these things affect your metabolism?
Yeah. Stress, well, mainly because there was lots of times actually I would work out of an evening, and that's just a no-no for me. I can't work out of a night. I wouldn't sleep well afterwards. So I know now, and also to bring my eating window to finish roughly anything between 5:30 and 7 is great for me. And if I eat too close to go to sleep, to wind down, to actually, just relax, turn the lights out, dim, just general. Don't do anything that's going to give your brain too much to think about, or too much stress. And the stress and the sleep go together, don't they? So, both of those worked in. Once again, the puzzles fit. You know that you just can't. And my numbers were so high overnight, and I'm thinking, but high because I'd done the wrong things, not high because I was burning the right fuels. I was obviously stressed, and I was waking up still in a high number, and I had to sort of pick out, what did I do? Well, let's try and take that out the equation, and that will help you. It's not, it's not something you learn immediately with Lumen. You have to take your time and really, you're okay. I can think, oh, I did that last night. That I ate that meal too late. That probably sat in my stomach, and I felt a bit stressed about it. And just different things, it just helped me in so many different ways. But with sleep and stress, yeah, that was the way I worked it out.
And how, okay, we have a lot of people coming to Lumen and they're ready to see results, but how did you kind of coach yourself through that learning process of the experimenting, and how did you know you needed to experiment? Is that something that you found out from us? Were you expecting that when you purchased Lumen, that you were gonna need to kind of, it's a tool, right? It's a tool to help you, but I think a lot of times we have people in the beginning that don't know how to use the tool. So what's your advice for them, and how did you overcome that of how do I use this tool?
Yeah, I'll agree. It is something that you get, and you think, oh, okay, now what do I do?
Now what?
Okay,
Exactly.
now what? And it really is perseverance and patience. Most definitely. It isn't an overnight fix. You do just have to really work out as to, maybe a journal actually would be good, because it just seeing what did you do the day before, the last 24, 36 hours that couldn't give you that number. And maybe if it's a high number and you don't, in the morning when you wake up, you think, well, maybe I need to really readjust that. And the only way I learnt that was actually just literally a bit of intuition and learning to trial and error what I can and can't do. And I know people can give up quite quickly with it, and I've seen that on the media channels. And I do understand to a degree, but you do just have to have, and I've said it in my day in a life, you just have to have patience. This didn't happen to you in a day. You know, all your bad habits didn't happen to you in a day, and your metabolism's gone a bit skew with because of years of be it yo-yo dieting, stress, not lack of sleep, overtraining. So those things have got to be undone. And so you've, as you know yourself, you've got to really try and work with it. Don't fight against it, and don't be disappointed because things are going to go wrong, and you know that's that is another learning curve for you. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I was at first. I was sort of, oh God, I don't know why have I got this, why have I got that. But it did just start to fall into place a little bit, and going on to on the app, and you've got the explore, and you can go in and have a look at different what your mitochondria are doing and how you should. Oh, the little blogs that you've got on there, they're really helpful, and the files as well are really helpful if you go into them and just try and.
Yeah. Great to hear. I think this is a big thing that it's annoying to hear this, like, trust the process and be
Yeah.
patient, but it's so important in the journey of, like you said, we didn't get here in a day, so we can't get out of here in a day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
It's not a quick fix. It's not a quick fix, but nothing's a quick fix. Everyone in this day in life, everybody wants a quick fix. Unfortunately, it's what we're used to. It's a fast pace, but that your body can't do that. You'd be very lucky if it does.
So there's the other lesson, like to slow down, to do less, and also like things take time. We want a quick fix because we're so stressed and we have so much going on and we need to get here and we need to do this. Actually, we need, and I'm starting to see this a lot more in the media, is we need to take a step back. We need to slow down. We need to go slower. We need to not rush to the next thing. Be here, be aware. And like you said, maybe a journal, like what the habits that we're doing and how they're moving us forward, how they're stopping us from moving forward in the way that we want.
Yeah, exactly.
So talking about this, like kind of trusting the process and having this intuition, it makes me think of like, it's pretty emotional journey to kind of change your life and to also to have this mindset of like, okay, I'm ready to experiment and I'm ready to, you know, really take a look at my habits. So can you walk me through some of those emotions? Like, did you hit a point where it was easy to start that? Was it hard for you? Like, how did you feel during this time? Because it's a lot to ask of yourself.
Yeah, it is. And the mindset is, there's going to be positives and negatives along the way. I've always been of the mindset, I get frustrated with myself for maybe taking the wrong direction or maybe not doing it right. But then I think, if you don't learn by that, then you're never going to go forward. I want to be healthier. I want to be fitter. I want to be more present in the moment. And so my mindset is, okay, if I got a 5, or if I woke up at a 4 or 5, that's telling me something. So yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's a little bit disappointing. Oh, God. But do something about it to try and change it, So that's my mindset, is I always striving to just be a bit better, a bit healthier. And it's not always possible. Life gets in the way. You're always going to come up against some sort of obstacle. My mindset, fortunately, is I am glass full, not glass half full. So I'm lucky in that respect.
Yeah.
I think to myself, well, yes, you can try and make that better. It boils down to yourself in the end, and it really does depend on how you process, your thoughts as well. I think you've got to be in a good frame of mind.
So, okay, so you wake up in a 5, let's say. How do you, like, it's about the mindset, okay, this is telling me something, but how do you take that kind of question of, okay, this is telling me something, and how do you turn it into action for the rest of your day? What can you do?
I've got an example of that, actually, because we were away on holiday 10 days ago, and purely by being on holiday, you do a bit of sightseeing, you go out. We were eating later. Now, we were going out to eat at 7:30, probably not eating a meal till gone 8:30, finishing at 9:30, 10, and we still like to go to bed roughly sort of 10:30, 11, 11:30. So my meal was quite late to my bedtime. There was not a short window, and I woke up in a 4. And we were away for 7 days. For 5 days out of those 7 days, the beginning of it was 2s, because obviously I was still coming back from my good earlier window. As I go further into the holiday, there it was, the 4. And also, like, you might have a bit of bread for dinner. You might have maybe try a bit of a dessert. Things you treat yourself when you're away. And normally, 2 or 3 years ago, and before I was doing Lumen, I would really beat myself up about it. I'd think, oh God, I've got to go home. I've got to diet. I've got to over-exercise. I've got to do this. Whereas I knew that was the reason. I just didn't think, well, you just don't enjoy your holiday. I enjoyed it. I came back. Within a day, I was back in my 1s and 2s. Shortened my window, lengthened my window between eating and going to sleep. Just became a little bit, less not overeating carbs of an evening, which I would normally do on holiday because there's bread on the table and, you're just trying new things. So yeah, that's a prime example. Whereas I would have beaten myself up about it before, it helped me to understand that, yes, I know that when I come back, if I go back into my normal habits, it's only a week of my life, my normal habits, I wasn't exactly going crazy. I just know that that's how my body deals with it. And so you take that and you learn from it,
And it's worth it in the end. It's like life happens, and
exactly. You can't just be 100% good every single day of your life. I would love to be, but then I'd be a supreme athlete. I'm not. I'm a human.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same. For me, food is the best part of traveling. And you were also just away again, eating super late and, having some drinks and like going to bed. And we were super active and walking a lot and everything. But
I was
still, your body is, it's changing something. And I think what's for me one of the biggest shifts, and I think you would say you feel the same, is like you're excited to get back to your regular routine, and
I am
excited to see those 1s and 2s in the morning. And it's not a punishment because you had fun on your vacation. It's like, no, this is how I feel my best, and I'm so glad I had so much fun, but now I get to go back to how I feel my best.
Your normal living. Exactly that. You've got to let go now and again, but you do know that you can change that. That's the difference. You know through experience of having a Lumen and how it works and how it teaches you that, yes, you can change that if you want to. If you just do certain tweaks of your night time, daytime, whatever you're going to do, that's the beauty of it, which is lovely.
Yeah. Do you find that now it's easier for you to kind of do these switches and get back into your routine now that you've been doing it longer? Or was it always kind of easy for you to, I don't like the phrase get back on track, but I think it's a very popular phrase of like to kind of get back to your routine, let's say, was it always kind of easy for you, or has it become easier because it's become more enjoyable?
It's become easier because I understand it more, and so I know how to do it, and it happens fast. I've got, obviously now I am quite flexible, so my metabolism does flex back into being quite, going back to the lower numbers in the morning. So purely because I've been using Lumen for a long time, and also because it's taught me how to become metabolically flexible. So now it's quick. When I first started, no, it wasn't. My body was askew. It was all over the place. But now I know that because I know how to use it and how to benefit from it, it's great. I'm excited to use it that way, if you get a fall, it's life. You can't help it. Things are going to happen in that way, And I know my triggers are sleep, stress, and eating too late. And quite a lot of triggers, really. Carbs in the evening as well. So, I know those. And if I do it, it's going to happen. It's only me that's doing it. So, but the good thing is Lumen will give me that chance to change my window when I come back.
Absolutely. So, okay, what I want to switch gears a bit here of back into the emotion. What is your biggest goal, or what are you you want to be healthier, you want to feel better, you want to be fit, but why? What's your I find a lot of people they needed a reason to want what's your why of why you want to be healthy?
It's a bit of a cliche, I suppose, really. This life is not a dress rehearsal. And at the age I'm at now, I've seen and lost close dear friends due to ill health or whatever. And I think life is to live. And if you can be as healthy as you possibly can, just help yourself to eat well, sleep well, exercise, enjoy life. Me, I've got 3 gorgeous grandchildren. I've got 3 gorgeous children. I've got a wonderful husband. I'm very fortunate. And I want to live life to be with them, and my why is that, really, to be honest, family, and to be here in my 90s. My father was 99 when he passed. I want to get in my father's shoes.
Amazing. Wow. That's inspiring in itself. My great grandma lived to be 100, and it's like she didn't have Lumen in her day, obviously.
No.
And your dad either. But her one kind of claim to fame was funny. She would drink wine. She was Dutch, drink wine, smoke cigarettes, but she didn't eat meat on Mondays. And this was the reason she thinks that she
Amazing.
made it to 100.
Incredible.
Mhm.
Genetics. You sound like you've got good genes.
Hope so.
Yeah, me too.
So what are some of your goals now? So have you lost the weight that you hope to lose? Do you want to lose more? Are you like, what are your goal? Also, obviously, to be healthy, to be here with your family, but what are some of your like smaller goals that you're working towards now?
Yeah, I'm really happy with my weight as it is. I've lost nearly 2 stone. And
Mhm.
what I'm really happy with is I've maintained it. It's stable.
Amazing.
I mean, that's never happened in my past. I could lose it, come back on, lose it, come back on.
Mhm.
Then I lost it, come back on. Then I couldn't lose it because I got older. It became even more difficult. So that's definitely helped. So my small goals are actually to, as I say, I do weight training. So I want to become a bit more toned. I want to be able to lift heavier weights, trying to be progressively more resistant work, really. That's, to be honest, I mean, well, actually, I'll say there is another goal. I mean, my daughter ran the London Marathon this year. Yeah, for charity, and it's the first time she's run, and I'm very proud of her. And I do run, but probably 10K, 12K is the max I do. So I would like to maybe try and do a half marathon. That's another thing I would want to work towards. I'd like to work towards that. Yeah. So there's mainly fitness goals, really. I suppose that's how I like, because I do love it. So that's what I'll be working towards.
Great. And how have your family like adapted as you've been using Lumen? Have you found that you like, obviously you see it when you use it, it's a device, but also like have the way that you cook or you eat, or it sounds like your kids aren't at home, so maybe it's not as effective for them, but how has it become part of your family, and how has your family like received the fact that you're trying this thing and now you're still doing it? Like, what do
At
they think
first,
about it?
I was the crazy blower woman. And what is this thing she's doing? They look at me, oh my God, what is she doing? But now, actually, the weirdest thing is my grandchildren, because when I go home to the UK, I'm with my daughter. I live there with her. My 2 grandsons go, well, Nanny's just doing her blower at the moment, Mummy. They know I'm going to be doing it. They know I do that every time. I can't come in until I've done that. Then, I mean, nutritionally, obviously, they've improved from it. My husband here, I make sure he has an earlier eating window. So we're doing duo as well. I mean, he done duo when we first started, so he does do it. He's still a man, and it's still trying to get him to get right into it, but he does understand the concept of it, which is fabulous, and that's certainly helping him. And my son-in-law joined Lumen. My daughter, when she was training for the marathon, although she isn't on Lumen, I was giving her a few tips from my points of view, and she knows that helped her. And she, they've watched A Day in Your Life. They, not just me, but they've seen others. It does affect them. It clearly does, because it positively as well. I was the crazy blower woman at first. That's what they said.
Wow, but now they see the transformation. They see that you're feeling better. You've lost the 2 stone, and your husband and you are like able to kind of reap the benefits together.
Yes.
The eating earlier, feeling better.
Yes, most definitely he does. Most definitely. Acid reflux he used to have, he doesn't have anymore.
Well,
so it's just, it really does make a difference.
nice. And I think it's also really like important to have this support system, because I think also when you start to feel better and sleep better, you want the other people around you to adopt the habits too. You're like, you can also feel better, you can also sleep better. Come join me.
Come on, join the club.
Yeah, the crazy blower club. So did you have any like initial like doubts or like skepticism like the you saw maybe before you got them and you were like this like doesn't seem also like your family like this what is she doing blowing into this thing? Did you have any of those kind of thoughts yourself or you were like this looks cool and I'm gonna like give it my all right off the bat?
I'm very much all in.
Mhm.
When I do something, I go right in. There was no sort of skepticism with me. I always try to, if I'm going to do something, I'm just one of these people. I either do it or I don't, and if I do it, I've got to do it right. So I just did a bit of research, and
Mhm.
yeah, I thought this is a fabulous tool to use to be able to see how your metabolism works. Wow, that's just what
Mhm.
an amazing thing to have. I mean, thank you to the two young ladies who researched and designed it, because that's just an amazing thing to be able to do. They're
Yeah.
incredible.
They are incredible and it's so like it's so exciting to like be in this space of this kind of innovation and we're always like working to make things better and we have
Yeah.
the Lumen Pro coming and we have like we're always adding things to the app with the latest research and so it's really exciting to hear that you guys, our users in our community, you trust us and you're like excited right there with us. It's really
Yeah. I'm
really
very
exciting.
envious of your where you work. I want to be part of the Lumen team.
Everybody does. Everybody
Yeah.
does.
I'm not
It's
surprised.
contagious. So let's talk about the Lumen community a little bit because that's how I found you and you found us and how has the community been a part of your journey and how has it helped you? Because I know the value of the community, but I want to hear the value of the community from your perspective.
It's great to be able to see other people's journeys,
Mhm.
to have tips, support, help, to actually help people as well, to
Mhm.
answer and give them any sort of feedback that you feel it helps too. It's really important to have someone to bounce off of, and to able to mirror to them what you feel, if at all possible. The positivity is lovely, and the
Yeah.
camaraderie is nice too. Always think it's so important. Teamwork is great, and the community is a team. That's what it is. It's yeah.
And do you feel like was there something specifically that you learned from the community? Can you remember something that you like found out through the community? Or you mentioned the explore tab and the videos and all the content that we work really hard on. You mentioned that it's helpful, so that's also great to hear. But, like, have you how kind of has the content from us or the content from other people in the community kind of shaped or do you remember something that you like learned directly from the community?
I remember my very first training. Maria Fox put up the 12. Is it 12 points
Mhm.
on the phone? I mean,
12
I
days.
read 12. Yeah, I read that, and I just thought, yeah, I get it. Obviously, I wanted to. I hadn't really used it properly, but I wanted to
Yeah.
be able to get to that point that was she explained. So that was fabulous, really fabulous. Angus is another person I
Mhm.
follow quite a lot. There's some great people on the forum that you just help give you pointers of where to go. I can't say anything specific apart from the one with Maria, but there's just you think, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna get. I think I can't remember the guy's name, but he told me I was talking to him, and he told me get into doing some sprint training, which has really helped me with
Yeah.
my heart rate zones, and so just those sort of things are really helpful. Just to be able to bounce back off people and just to see where they've achieved and what they've done.
And to have like a pool of people who have done the same thing or doing the same thing to
Yeah.
just bounce ideas off of and we talked about how it's a big experimental process, Lumen. And so I think to have other people give ideas for things you can try is really helpful because there's things that sometimes you don't wouldn't think about yourself.
No, exactly.
And they can be quite specific. So
Mhm.
like the running sprints and stuff like, you know, this recommendation, it's also not for everyone. So not everyone
No.
would take that recommendation into account, you know what I mean? So it's nice to have this kind of
Yeah, so
beehive.
it's a wide window. You can take from it,
Mhm.
specifically what you want, or you can just look at it in general and think, well, actually, I'll give that a try, or I won't. It won't work for me. But yeah, that's all about a forum or a community that you've got to be able to pick and choose what you want to try, but it's the actual information is there if you need it. And it's great that people want to do that. It's lovely. They're so giving.
So, what do you have to say to someone who is just kind of maybe still thinking about it, or just kind of starting on their journey and they're like a little bit frustrated, they're a little bit confused? What's your like message to them?
As I've said before, you've got to be patient. It's really important. Just give yourself time. Don't beat yourself up about it. There's going to be bridges you've got to cross, and you do have to really just work through each little innuendo you feel you've got to change, but also support, reach out to support. They're there. Support, they're a great resource. The communities are a great resource. Go to them. Don't give up. Just try not to give up. It's so easy to give up in this nowadays because you think, just don't get it. Oh, it's not going to work for me. But in the truth, it will work. It's just everyone's an individual, and everyone has their own time frame of undoing any sort of bad habits they've done. And that's the thing. You've got to undo all those bad habits. So just be patient, work with it, because it is a fabulous tool to work with. It really is. And that would be my main thing. And as I say, reach out and ask the ambassadors, ask the forum, ask the support team. If you think, oh, my macros are a little bit out, should I be eating a bit more protein? I'm doing this, blah, blah. Just do it. It's there for.
It's kind of full of knowledge.
Yeah.
And what do you like? How do you explain Lumen to others? So someone sees you, your grandkids. This is actually. Your grandkids see you blowing into the device. How do you explain to them what it is?
Yeah, it's a funny one, really, because you would say different to different people. But so if it was my grandchildren, I'd just say, well, Nanny's trying to work out how she should be feeling better for the day, and how she should really, if she's going to go and do some exercise, as Nanny does, maybe she should have something to eat before she does it. Or, maybe when she's had her exercise, this little tool here will tell me that actually you should be fueling up and make sure you're not starving yourself. That's what Nanny sometimes she didn't eat enough. That's a
Amazing.
childlike way of saying it, but
no, but then sometimes that's what we need.
I'm sorry. My best friends are here on a holiday at the moment. So we were out for breakfast this morning. I was saying to them, I'm doing this podcast today, and I explained to them about the tool. And I said, it's just basically, it's a little metabolism tool, and it helps you understand your metabolism. Yeah. This is it, And they went, really? I said, yep. I said, it will just tell you whether you're burning a fat or carbs for fuel, and what you need for fuel. I said, it's absolutely changed my life. And they went, really? Can we get it? It's just, you can.
Yeah, you can. You can and you should. Amazing. I want to kind of get into how others, we talked about your family, but how others perceive what you're doing. Like if people are even aware of it, if you weren't extremely overweight and you lost 100 pounds. So it's not like the most visible to others, but have other people notice your progress? Like, comments like, oh, you have so much energy, or how do you do it all? Others notice your progress, I guess.
To be honest, because I'm a hairdresser, so when I go back to the UK, I have a salon, I go do clients that wait for me. So every 4 to 6 weeks I go back. And they have noticed a difference in my physique, in my overall just demeanor, really, and how I feel. I feel more fitter, more present, to be honest. And they do say to me, and I explain, there's a multitude of things. I'm looking after myself, but I do use Lumen as a tool. And they go, what's that? There's some people most people don't know what it is until I explain. I mean, so yeah, I have had people notice, and yes, it's not a huge, it's a massive amount of weight for me because it's taken me years to try and shift it, but I do know what you mean. It's not like a massive transformation in that respect, but people do notice. Yeah, they notice that I'm fitter, leaner, more present. Right. So yeah, because I was quite often exhausted, to be honest. So yeah, people do see that, and I will explain. It's the coming together of me using this particular tool, and I've had friends I've explained to them, and they've really taken it in, and they think that's really interesting.
Okay, so you're telling people about Lumen and they see you and you have more energy and you're brighter and you've lost some weight. And how do they, or kind of what's the gap to you recommending Lumen and then them being like, oh, do do you have a code? How do I get it? Like, do you find I'm just curious about how that kind of recommendation works. So you tell someone, they notice something about you and that you've changed. You tell them something like Lumen that had a part in this transformation. And then what? Are they like, wow, I'm going to get one too. I'm going to ask you if I need help. Are they kind of just like, oh, okay, sounds cool. Like, what's the next question?
It varies. There's some people just go, oh, really? Okay, and they just move on with their life because they don't really, it's not their be all or end all. But then, for instance, someone like my son-in-law, he joined Lumen, and it really helped him. He was going for a real struggle with not just weight, with body image and that really helped him. I don't get anyone say, oh, can you send me a code or share code? I don't have that. Yeah, no, that's not like it. But I do try my very best to be forthcoming and an ambassador and tell them how I feel about it. I think it's down to them in the end of in the long run. They've got to be able to want to do it. I've got a couple, as I say, my best friends here. I'm going to have to work on them. They say this. They talk the talk. They don't walk the walk. And they don't walk anywhere. So everyone's different, and I don't want to be they keep going on at them. I'm not that type of person. I don't think that's fair to actually, because all you're doing is downplaying their life, and I don't like that. But if you can just explain positively, in the end, the people will think, or my friends will think, oh, actually, I could try that out. That sounds great fun. I've already got a couple of people who are on the fence, and I'm waiting to get over it.
And like we talked about before, it's a lot to do with mindsets and your willingness to experiment and to try maybe new things. So if a friend or family member is not there to pull them over the fence, it's not going to help anyways, because they're going to be frustrated and confused. So I think
they're going to be the person that gives up after 2 or 3 weeks because they're not really invested. They're just not in the right, as you say, mindset's not there just yet.
I have a few more questions. We talked about like sleep. So other than the 2 stones that you lost, how many pounds is that? Do you know?
Just 28, isn't it?
Wow.
Isn't it 28 pounds? 14 pounds in a stone. Yeah, 28 pounds.
Great. So, okay, so you lost 28 pounds, 2 stones. What are some of the other non-scale victories that you've seen while using Lumen?
My skin is improved. My overall energy levels just feel so much at home in my own skin.
Wow.
That's how I can explain it, really. Because I have a window to my metabolism, I feel more at ease with myself. I don't feel... Whereas before I was always so battling with myself all the time. Why can't I do this? What is the problem? Why am I over... I'm training so much, but why am I losing? I'm eating this, but why am I losing? I just feel so much more in tune and happier in my own skin, to be honest. Yeah, happier in myself. More relaxed.
That in itself is what to aspire for. If we want to lose weight, it's one thing, but to feel really good in our skin is, like you said, there's no test runs. This is it. So you want to feel the best that you can. That's amazing.
Yeah.
If you could go back to yourself at any point throughout your journey and tell yourself something that you know now, what would you tell yourself? Your premenopausal, your pre-motherhood, what would you tell yourself to encourage yourself to get you to where you are now?
I'd lock myself in a room, to be honest. And say,
why?
Stay there. Because I literally wouldn't give myself the minute of a day. So that's one thing. Just give yourself some time. And as you said before, it doesn't have to be 24/7. Keep on going. Bring it back a little bit. Bring it back in. But also, just get Lumen if you can. If at that time I could have done, I probably would have done, to be honest. Because even during those times when I was younger, I still loved to biohack, and I still loved to know what my body was doing. I just didn't have the tools to do it.
Yeah.
So take a step back and calm down, and just don't beat yourself up as much as I was so frustrated. Happy but frustrated. But as you get older, that becomes worse.
Why do you think we as women beat ourselves up so much? Why do you not necessarily beat ourselves up, but it comes it comes from all directions. It comes from the mindset, it comes from the body image, how can we as women help other women to stop doing it besides telling them stop doing it?
Exactly. Well, it's thrown at us from every angle, isn't it? I mean, you've got to look like this. You've got to train like this. You've got to be slim, sleek. You've got to be fit. You've got to have every single body image that coming from every different direction.
Yeah.
You've got to eat like this. You've got to, and a lot of it is male orientated, and it doesn't work for us. It just doesn't. Unfortunately, you don't know that until you actually hit rock bottom with it. It can play havoc with your endocrine system and your hormones. And I know that from first-hand experience. So it's how you tell women, it's basically knowledge, really, and just trying to listen to your body, but also listen to people that actually understand, listen to some good, knowledgeable women that are out there on other podcasts as well.
Oh. And I guess this kind of is another question I have. How do you wade through all this noise? What's your advice to someone to really dive in and find what works for them? There's a lot of noise. I've seen this video circulating and it's all you have to do is eat this and do this and do this and sleep this. It's it's that simple, but it's not that simple, but it can be a lot more simple. So what's your message to other women that are trying to wade through the noise to find out what works for them?
Small goals, literally don't overreach, because then it becomes impossible. Just have a small goal to work towards. If it's weight loss, I want to lose 3 stone. Think, I can lose 3 pounds this month or whatever, just small, because I think if you take things too much, it overwhelms you, and then you lose interest, or you just lose compassion to do it. Whereas I think if you can actually get and reward yourself, you've done well. Be proud of actually trying to move forward with your life, and to try and improve those things that have upset you in the past.
What are some things that you do to reward yourself, or to kind of pat yourself on the back when you reach a goal, or you just feel wow, I'm so proud of what I'm doing and how far I've come?
I'll have a massage. Something for me. I love to go, massage, or listen to a podcast, interviews. Me time. I take me time now. I never used to do me time. I used to always give to everyone else, which as a mother and as a grandmother you do, because I'm a part of a family unit, so it's quite natural to do that. But I wasn't giving myself any me time, and I think it's important for yourself to step back and just time to just reflect, really. So I love I like horse riding. I'll go for a horse ride. Different things, really. Just something that I feel I'm getting a benefit from, but I enjoy. But generally relaxing things. Generally something I love a massage or a facial or something like that.
Yeah, amazing. Great. Anything else? Tell us a bit about the app, actually. Some of the things in the app that you use regularly, some features that you love. What are some of the things inside the Lumen app that you really love?
It's a great app. I don't use the food log because I was originally using my Net Diary, I think is what I use. And so obviously that goes over with Apple Health, it brings it over. So that's really good. But the food log now is fabulous. I think at first there was a few blips with it, but now the fact that you can voice log, the fact that you can screenshot your pictures on the thing, that's really good. So I still look in it, but I don't use it for myself. I love the Explore tab. I want more. I love them when the new one comes up. I can't wait to open it and listen to it. Just using the breath work as well, trying it with different pre-work, post-work, workout. Anything on it that it is sort of will help me to understand my body. I love to read. So and I love the way it's changing. I love the new tweaks. The pizza circle. It's the pizza circle. The circle for the.
We also call it the pizza. We also turn in the office. We call it the pizza too.
Yeah, yeah. And even though I know the app, I'll still go down to my metabolic, my flex score, and I'll still read through it again sometimes, because sometimes I think, actually maybe something's added on. I think, there it comes, something else new has happened, and it's just nice to go through it. And I'm a sucker for knowledge, so I like to be able to see So I'm constantly looking into it and seeing. And the community, of course, you can go in now. And now that we're getting notifications, that's much better. It's easier to use.
Amazing. And anything that you're like struggling with, any feedback about the actual app also, since
I think it's been addressed now. But when the boost notification went, I struggled with that, because even though I've been using the tool and I know when my boost is, you do still need that sort of flashing. Oh yeah, it's a boost day today, because sometimes you're not going to count if it goes from one week to the next when your boost day is. And I had missed initially when that happened at couples. Now that's back in. I'm much happier with that. And I think now that it's not as busy on the page as well. That's great too, because it can be a bit too much on there, But that's good.
Great. So any final words, final thoughts for the audience, for me, for Lumen as a company?
Just first of all, thank you. That's all I can say. It's really helped me to understand myself. And just give it a go. Just try, because it's an actual tool. It works. It's not a fad. It's not something that you can play around with. It's true life window into your metabolism in your life. If for anything, just for that, so you can understand yourself. Give it a go and be patient, as I've said before.
Amazing. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
and
Emma.
for talking. It was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed talking about women, and hopefully we can help future women to feel their best and glow from the inside out. So
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
I've had a lovely time. Thank you. Very enjoyed it.